The White House has just been caught funding the Georgia Trump case, or at least that's what some critics are saying after this latest revelation. So it's now come out that a former aide to President Joe Biden paid Fani Willis's deputy district attorney, Jeff DiSantis, more than $100,000 for consulting services. Now, just the optics of this entire scenario alone looks really bad for the Georgia case against former President Donald Trump. That's because some things are just lining up way too well, which creates this direct line from the Biden administration to Fani Willis's team. Now, it's important to note that these payments to DeSantis, they were previously unreported. Now, again, that in and of itself is raising a lot of questions. But how did all of this come about? And hey guys, before I get any further, all I ask is you guys take 1 second, drop a quick like for the video. I want to thank you so much for always sharing these videos. You guys are the best and it totally helps out the channel. So Jeff DiSantis, who is Fulton County's deputy district attorney, he's being seen as the mastermind behind the legal challenges that Trump faces in Georgia. This is because of the specific sources that have confirmed that DeSantis is a Biden plant from inside a Fulton County office aimed at taking down former President Donald Trump. Now, DeSantis received 4 payments that totaled $131,335 for providing consulting services to Representative Gabriel Amo, at least according to the Federal Election Commission records. So Amo was a former Biden White House aide who worked with local elected officials. DeSantis on his end wasn't just working at the county DA's office, he also operated a consulting firm. The firm was called 2020 Insights LLC. Here's something that sources have confirmed when it comes to deputy district attorneys. It's likely that they had to sign an oath that restricts them from working outside of their county employment agreement. To date, it hasn't been confirmed if DeSantis signed one or if he has a different arrangement. Now, the records from the Federal Election Commission shows that 2020 Insights LLC, DeSantis's consulting firm, was paid during July 21st to August 11th. There were 4 payments made within $20,000 all the way up to almost $50,000 for the final payment. These payments were made under a contract with Representative Gabriel Amo. So Amo, like I said, worked in the Biden administration as the deputy director of the White House Office of Intergovernmental Affairs before running for Congress in 2023. His White House bio notes that he worked as the principal liaison to mayors and local elected officials. He was also a part of Biden's 2020 campaign where he served as an advisor and later served on the president's transition team. From these facts, sources confirmed that he was key in connecting the Georgia case to the White House. The idea is that DeSantis is the guy who's actually pulling all the strings, and he's the one that walled Willis off. He was also included in every important meeting and should be considered the brainchild of this entire deal. So it's also reported that he was pretty well off. Reports show that when he ran Willis's 2020 campaign, he was able to raise $4 million in donations for the district attorney's race. Now, with that in mind, why then would he settle for a prosecutorial job that would pay him around $70,000 to $80,000 a year? Now, I understand that some people are willing to lose money in order to pursue their passion. However, he's just really overqualified to serve as an average county employee. Now, let's go ahead and talk about his consulting firm. He founded 2020 Insights LLC back in 2010. Since then, he's been the registered agent for the company. That is until February of this year. Well, what happened then? Well, the company suddenly replaced his name for that of Christopher Hutman, his business partner. Now, you may think that after 14 years, they just suddenly decided to kind of switch things up, but there seems to be more to this than meets the eye. DeSantis was replaced just a few weeks before Fani Willis testified about her affair with Nathan Wade, her fellow Trump prosecutor. The change also took place just 2 days after a court filing alleged that Willis and Wade had a romantic relationship. Now, this could all be completely coincidental, but the sources who broke out the news of DeSantis' past and role in the Fulton County office have said that this was intentional. This was supposedly meant to further separate the deputy district attorney's connection to the White House. But as we can all see, it's only fueled that fire even more. We also know that Terrence Bradley quickly went from hero to zero in the eyes of many Trump supporters. This is because he failed to back up his own text messages where he confirmed that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade had been in a relationship long before the Trump Georgia case. Now, at this point, we're just kind of waiting on Judge Scott McAfee to decide whether he's seen and heard enough in order to disqualify Willis and her team from this case. Now, many analysts are saying that getting to this point where a conflict of interest was questioned was already a huge win for Trump. Now, speaking of the former president, he's recently called out Fani Willis and accused her of lying about many things, one of which were related to what he described as escapades with her special prosecutor Nathan Wade. In a post on Truth Social, the former president questioned where Willis got all of this cash to pay back Wade for the vacations that the two took together. He alleged that the entire cash story where Willis says she paid Wade back in cash for the trips was just made up. It was made up because Trump says that Willis realized that she used the money that came from the people of Georgia. He added that the two were lovers and friends long before this witch hunt started and that they both wanted fame and money. Trump also noted that they worked with the Department of Justice and even spent days in DC to work toward going after President Biden's closest political opponent, aka Donald J. Trump. Now, some analysts say that this entire legal approach to derail Trump's presidential campaign is not doing too well. Now, of course, the blame is being pinned on Democrats. However, they're just going to avoid the entire conversation. Now, when it comes to Trump's legal battles, many say that this is just bolstering the support that he received from people that believe in him. In fact, a recent trip for Trump's Florida classified documents trial looked more like a rally. And this has some experts saying that instead of getting Trump off of the campaign trail, they've only made it easier for the former president to rally his supporters. The collective arrangement is that most, if not all, of Trump's cases will be delayed. And this plays well into what his legal team wants, as they most probably are pushing to have these resolved sometime after the 2024 presidential elections. Now, in what seems to be like another win for Trump, special counsel Jack Smith just got blasted by the judge presiding over his Florida trial. So District Court Judge Aileen Cannon called Smith's proposed schedule for Trump's trial to be unrealistic. The proposed date from prosecutors was July 8th, saying that the case could be held over the summer. The problem is that there were a lot of pretrial motions that Judge Cannon just needs to rule on. So I guess Cannon felt as if Smith was trying to pressure her into making this case go as fast as he wants it to go. But what do you guys think? Is the former president losing momentum with all of his legal battles, or is it simply propelling him even further in front? As far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna do my best to keep you guys informed on everything that's happening right now and what's gonna impact us in the future. So before I go, I just wanna thank y'all again for liking and sharing these videos, and I'll see you on the next one.